everyone, thank you for coming today to class. I'm so glad you're able to join us. So we're doing something a little different today. Rather than doing a 60-minute class, we're just going to be doing a 30-minute slow flow class. So I know for a lot of us it's hard to carve out 60 minutes every day to practice, and to be honest, most of the days that I practice on my yoga mat at home, I'm doing about a 30-minute practice too. And lately I've been doing kind of a slow practice and letting my mat just be a place where I kind of escape, and it becomes like a very nourishing ritual rather than this like super energetic thing that sometimes can feel depleting. So I hope you enjoy this. We're not going to be using any props today, and we'll just go ahead and get started. So you can find any seat that is comfortable for you, kneeling, cross-legged. You could prop yourself up on a pillow or a blanket if you'd like. You can have your legs straight out in front. Let your hands just fall in your lap or on your knees. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Go ahead and close your eyes. So yoga is so much more than the physical movements we do, although those are very important and very nice to do as well. But our yoga practice is a way for us to improve our lives when we're off our mat. It's a chance for us to reflect, to set intentions, and to really feel what we need at this time, both physically and mentally and spiritually. So here in this quiet seated position, I want you to take a moment to really turn inward. To invite your breath in. To observe it as it moves out. And as you start to feel yourself settling into this seat and settling into your breath today, just ask yourself what you'd like to get from this 30-minute practice. What are you needing most? Need relaxation, stress relief? Do you need to feel safe or supported? Whatever word or short phrase that comes to mind, just the first one that seems like, that's it. Just repeat it to yourself on each inhale. Moving that thought or intention deeper into your heart center. Then go ahead and blink your eyes open. We'll start with just a simple twist. So seated just as you are if you're comfortable. Take one hand behind you, bring your other hand to your opposite thigh. Think tall, get tall. Move your shoulders away from your ears, and as you exhale, just a simple twist back. Inhale, come around, switch sides. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, gentle twist back. Take one more breath in. So you exhale, go ahead and come back around. Slide one hand out to the side, bend the elbow, stretch and reach over. Reach through your fingers too, so don't let the hand feel dead here. Spread the fingers and reach. Drop the chin down towards your bent arm. Inhale, come up, switch sides, bending the elbow, reaching the arms, stretching the fingers, breathing into your side ribs. Let the chin come down, don't strain the neck. Inhale, bring yourself up. Go ahead and head to all fours. Take your time getting there. You're going to spread your fingers wide. Take your hands about the width of the mat. You're going to tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift the hips, but keep the knees bent. And just kind of push back into your hips. Let your chin come towards the chest. Get a nice big stretch for the shoulders, and then straighten one leg at a time. We're not going to do a full downward facing dog for this class, which is a good thing. It can be a difficult pose or even just constrain the body. So let this practice be maybe a little more fluid, invite a little more movement in. Notice how I'm kind of twisting left and right as I bend the knees. Feels nice on my side body. So when you're coming to a practice asking to be nourished, it's really important to try not to let the mind get in the way. Don't think about what you should be doing or what you need to be doing or if this is right or if this is wrong. Just be thinking about what feels good. Go ahead and drop the knees down. You're going to cross the right knee in front of the left. Keep the hips up and just start to walk the hands forward. Maybe forehead comes to the ground. It's like a cross-legged puppy pose. You should feel a nice opening through the shoulders and the back of the heart. And if you wanted to, you could bend the elbows, bring the hands in prayer. It'll just increase the stretch a little bit for you. Keeping the legs crossed, go ahead and bring yourself back up to all fours. You're just going to take the right knee and slide it between your thumbs, coming into an easy pigeon pose. So you can lengthen the back leg out behind you. Try to feel some evenness through the hips. They don't have to be down on the ground, but just try to get them level with each other. And then slowly make your way down. And as you do, kind of play with the direction you turn. Once you find the one that feels best for you today, you might come down to your forearms, you might support the head in your hands, you might be able to drop your heart and your head all the way down. So with each inhale, invite that intention, that word or phrase back into your heart center. See when your mind starts to try to take control of this practice again. See if you can let that go and really let your body and your heart guide you today. Let it just be an experiment. See how your practice changes or if it does by doing that. Go ahead and bring yourself back up. You're going to recross the right thigh in front of the left. And then we'll sit down into Gomukhasana. You could definitely do this on your back if you'd like. So sit down between the heels, stack the knees. For a lot of us, this is plenty, and you can stay here. For some of you, you might start folding forward. And I'm just going to take some slow circles with my shoulders. So I find in these slow practices, I like to try to add a little bit of movement to each pose. So unlike a yin practice where you hold the poses still, find some sort of small little movement and really just listen to your body, right? There's no right or wrong way to roll your shoulders. Or if your neck would feel better, your hands, your wrists. But because we're moving slow, we're giving us a little more time, giving ourselves a little more time to really feel it out. How can I get comfortable here? Or how can I get more from this? And then go ahead and start to walk the hands forward. Planting the hands nice and wide. Tucking the toes, coming back into that bent knee deep in a down dog shape. And then kind of springing up one leg at a time. You can take the feet wide. You can have them together. Twist as much as you want. Try to avoid a static pose here if you can. Unless you find that that feels really good, and then take a few deep breaths into it, right? But knowing that you're going to be moving out of it shortly. ahead and come down to all fours. Take the left knee, cross it in front of the right. Come into that cross-legged puppy pose. So you're trying to generally keep the hips over the knees. Walk the hands forward, forehead down. Breathing nice and deep into the back of the heart. Feeling the back of the heart melt towards the front. Letting go of the busy mind. And really trying to just listen to what your body is telling you here. As you inhale, go ahead and bring yourself back up to all fours. We'll slide the left knee between the thumbs, setting up for an easy pigeon. Feeling out the hips. And of course, you can stay here. You don't have to fold down, right? If you're finding something comfortable or interesting here, hang here. Maybe you start to experiment going down. Right, let this be a chance for you to really discover your practice. The goal of taking a class like this is to be exposed to some new ideas, maybe some new thoughts or a pose you hadn't seen before or a new approach to a pose. But then what I really hope you're able to do is to then for the next week be able to practice a 30-minute something similar to this, but that's your own. You don't have to turn on anything. It's just you and your practice. And that's when you really start to fall in love with yoga, when you're no longer doing someone else's practice, and you can learn how to do your own. Stay with your breath. Try to keep the body as relaxed and comfortable as you can. And then go ahead and slide the left knee in front of the right, setting up for our cow face pose or Gomukhasana. Knees stack, heels enclosed, flip it over if this is just not happy on your knees, same shape, just lying on your back. And then again, adding some sort of movement here. Right, it could be nice little shoulder rolls, it could be neck, it could be a little sway in the hips. Just letting the practice be as nourishing as possible for you today. I've been reading a lot about how these little movements, they're very primal in a way, and we don't get enough of just these small little fluid movements in our day. Most of us don't. And it can actually be really healing for your cells and for your body and really healthy for your joints too. Go ahead and start to come back. That easy kind of bent leg down dog, playing around with that. Taking a few breaths, twisting, turning, exploring the shape maybe in a way that you haven't because you are thinking so much, oh, I've got to push my shoulders back more, straighten my legs, or get my heels down, or engage this, or engage that. Don't worry about that. That's not what we're here for today. Go ahead and look between your thumbs. You're going to step your right foot forward, and if it doesn't come all the way up, you can always help it up, right? Get the right foot right between the hands. You're going to set the left knee down and scoot the right foot all the way to the edge of the mat. You're going to put your hands down under your shoulders, and then kind of invite those slow circular movements back in. So you could do circles with the hips. Sometimes it feels really good to do a cat-cow shape here. And just see what feels the best for you today. See if we can find some sort of rhythm where, most importantly, we're staying in touch with the breath. So the shape you're getting into, and then you're adding your own individual movement here today. Take 1 or 2 more breaths. And start to walk your hands even more over to the left. And as you do, turn your back shin so it becomes level with your frontage of your mat. Walk the right foot forward. Keep the right knee bent. Place your right forearm on the thigh. And reach the left arm up and over. And then maybe take the wrist in circles. Or you could do kind of back and up movements here. Just listening to the neck, listening to the side body. Finding the shape. And then adding your own movements here. Listening to the breath. On your next exhale, bring the hands down. Start to straighten the right leg out to the side. Pull the hips back as you walk the hands forward, chin in towards the chest. As much traction for the spine as you can. And then kind of pulls up and down, just really slow pulses. Moving your chest down and up. Exhale, start to walk the hands back towards your front foot. You can re-pivot the back leg and the right knee. You're going to bend the left knee too. Set up the right foot. So that the ankle is right under the knee. Keep the left knee bent. You can leave the hands down or maybe hands up. Here's our shape. Start to explore what feels good in the hands. You're taking some big circles with the arms, spreading the fingers wide. And you can have the back knee down too. I like to get a little bit of juice in my back leg by keeping it lifted. And then hands down to the mat. Step it back, bent knee. Playing with down dog. Doing your best to avoid that full-on, both legs straight, static down facing dog today. And then step your left foot forward, help it forward if you need. Drop the right knee down, left foot walks, so you've got room for your chest here. Hands under your shoulders, you can have them on blocks or lifted. Here's our shape. Maybe add cat-cow in the back. Maybe add some nice big hip circles. Do something you haven't ever done before in this pose. Right? Just explore. See what happens. And keep the jaw relaxed. And by staying with the breath, it's really helpful to keep the mind kind of out of it. Gives the mind something to do other than thinking things that are going to get in the way from you enjoying this practice. Start to walk the hands over to the right. Turn the right shin, walk the left foot forward. Left forearm to your left thigh. Reach the right arm over. And then add in some sort of movement. And you can always change that movement. It doesn't have to stay the same. Just keep breathing. And sometimes if your brain is really, you're in the middle of your day, kind of in the middle of everything, just go to counting the breath, right? Inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale 3, and go to 10. And that can be a really nice way to keep yourself kind of occupied. Go ahead and bring yourself up. Straighten out the leg. Walk the hands forward. Get some traction in the spine. And I find it's so nice just to kind of sway the hips back and forth. You feel really good. And then start to walk the hands forward. Setting up for our bent leg lunge. So getting a left knee about over the left ankle, but keep the back leg bent. And then inhale, bring yourself up. If that's too much, you can always drop the right knee down. And then add your movement. Might be spiraling the arms, might just be wrists. Sometimes it feels good to interlace the hands and just pull the head back into the hands. Maybe it's a little bit of bouncing up and down. Just feel free to explore, see what feels good here. When you're ready, hands down, bent leg, down dog. Take the knees all the way down to the ground, wide leg child's pose. So you're going to move the hips back towards the heels, walk the hands forward, bring the forehead down to the floor so that your tip of your nose is touching the mat. And then even here, you can add some small movements, right? You can flex the palms back, move the hands around with the breath. I like to kind of move the chest up and down, a little bit of an expansion in the upper back. But coordinate it with your breath. That's the key to these flows. Coordinate your movement with the breath and be mindful of the breath as you move. Next inhale, start to walk your hands in. Go ahead and cross your ankles behind you. Sit down and scoot into the center of your mat. So we're going to come into lying down on our backs. So go ahead and start just by hugging the knees into the chest. Flex the feet back and then point the toes. And then flex them back, point the toes. You can take ankles in circles. And start to open the knees towards your shoulders. Grab onto the outer edges of the feet. Start to lift the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling for happy baby. Then add some rocking right and left. And bring the knees back together into your chest. Keep them hugged and nice and high. And then drop your knees over to the right, getting the feet and the ankles to touch the ground. And then open up the left arm, look over your left shoulder. So even holding this pose still here, find your breath and see if you can animate the breath a little more than you normally do. Letting it move your chest up and down as you breathe. You're going to take the left leg, or the leg that's on top, and start to draw the knee up towards your chest a little bit more. And then slide the right foot back under you. See if you can find it with your left hand. And just kind of lean into the twist. Your top leg can stay bent. You could straighten it out. You can do anything with the left leg that feels good. Even though, like I said, you're still, can you find the breath moving through you and embrace that movement? Go ahead and come back through center. Hug the knees into the chest. Drop them to the left. Just get everything to touch the ground. Reach the arm to the side. Visualize the breath moving down the back of the throat into the heart center. Letting it move your chest. Letting it move the space around your heart as you breathe. And go ahead and draw the right knee up a little bit towards your chest. Free the bottom leg, your left leg. Find it with your hand, maybe. Even if you didn't find it, you can still take the shape. A lot of times the mat's sticky enough that it'll kind of hold the foot there. Straighten out the top leg if you want. Draw the right shoulder down and then come back to the breath. Coming back to your intention, your word or your phrase, the reason for coming to the mat today. Let your practice be something that you look forward to. Something where you don't have expectations going into it. You don't have a to-do list or things you need to check off. Where it really just is an expression of what you need. And if you came to this today, I'm guessing most of us are needing a little break. Hug the knees back into the chest. A chance to escape or have some quiet or just to feel nourished and supported. And go ahead and head to your Shavasana. So corpse pose, but let the shape be anything you want to today. So the classic shape is calling your name. You can head there with the legs straight and wide and the arms up to your sides. But don't be afraid to play with, maybe soles of feet together, knees wide, feet wide, knees together. You could stay and just hug in the knees. Sometimes it feels good to get on your side. Do whatever you want. And then once you're there, once you have arrived, continue to visualize the breath. Pick a color. Make that breath the color that you chose. See it moving into your body, into your heart center. And as it moves, it's carrying with it that intention that you set. It's filling you up with whatever it is that you needed, whether it was peace or security or nourishment or relaxation, support. Let that word or phrase just move into the heart. And as your heart center grows bigger and bigger, start to feel the weight of your back body getting heavier and heavier. You come and rest into your final pose. So in a 30-minute class, there isn't always a ton of time for Shavasana. If you have more time than the 30 minutes, please stay here for as long as you can. Kind of stay with our slow way of moving. When you are ready to bring yourself up and out of it, moving very mindfully, planning your next move before you do it. And then when you're finished, just bring yourself up into a comfortable seat. Again, don't rush, don't hurry. Can you spend even a minute just seated? Maybe hands at your heart or hands back in your lap. Just noticing any changes that may have occurred in your practice. Noticing how you feel, kind of moving a little more freely than maybe you typically do in your practice. And then just thinking about something that makes you so happy, something that brings you joy. Let that thought bring a smile to your face today. And may we remind ourselves that the practice is so much more than just a practice for ourselves. It is a way to help and support those around us. And it is a way to live a very happy and grateful life. And may we move all together a little bit more slowly today. Thank you guys for coming to class. I hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to meeting with all of you guys one way or another on the land of social media. And you can check out yogineology.com for lots of new content and recipes and just fun community over there. So have a great day. Thank you.